Hi, and welcome back to Suricata Crafts. I'm Rebecca. Today we're going to start our alpaca processing journey. I recently purchased 2 alpaca saddles, or blankets, from an alpaca named Sherlock. The saddle comes from the fleece on the back of the alpaca, where a saddle would be. Alpaca fiber is referred to as fleece, not wool. Sheep have wool. Alpaca have fleece. Today we're going to learn to scour, wash, dry, and do the first pick of our fleece. We want to remove all of the guard hairs, the vegetal matter, and the lower quality fiber in preparation for carding and spinning. Let's get started. This is our first bag of alpaca fiber, and it is freshly shorn. Sorry about the crinkling. It's freshly shorn. It hasn't been more than lightly skirted. So we're going to find all sorts of things in here. And our first step is to wash it. I have 3 buckets of very hot water, as hot as the tap will allow. And I'm just adding some boiling water from the kettle. And it's got some Dawn dish soap in it, and I'm just going to add the fiber and press it down gently till it's submerged. I'm going to take small handfuls of the fiber, just lay it on top. If I see anything obvious, like right here, this is a different color. These are guard hairs. If I can easily see them and separate them, I'll take them out, and I have a bucket waiting for it. Some more guard hairs here. Those don't go into your spinning, so you want to remove them every time you see them. I'm just going to gently push it down into the water. You don't want to agitate it. You just want to get it wet and let the dirt start soaking out. This alpaca that I bought is incredibly clean. Even the alpaca shearer commented on how clean her alpacas were. Hers don't tend to roll around in the mud as much as some others. So we're just going to submerge it as much as we can, making sure every bit is wet. We're going to repeat. Just get everything down under the water so the dirt can start to release. You can see that the water is already starting to change color. All the dirt is releasing, because the fiber itself doesn't get dirty. The dirt sticks to the fiber and then comes right off as soon as it's washed. It's like your hair. The dirt doesn't permeate your hair. It just sits on the outside. So I'm going to add some more fiber, dunk it, and then it's going to sit for 20 to 30 minutes. This fiber has been soaking for about 20 to 30 minutes, and we're just going to do our best to lift it up. Let it drain and drop it right into the new water. We want as little agitation as possible. So I'm just going to pour the rest of this water through a strainer, a mesh strainer, and get out as much fiber as I can. But you can see just how dirty this water is. The fiber's been soaking for about 30 more minutes. So now the water came out pretty clear. It's still hot, but it's not very dirty. So I'm going to call that clean, and I'm going to drain it and put it out to dry. Good morning. It's about 7 a.m. and it is freezing. I am currently outside. The fleece has been drying overnight and it's not dry yet. So what I'm doing this morning is I'm just picking the fleece. All you have to do is take a bit of fleece and pull it apart. And at this step, a lot of the grasses and VM will fall out. Like this little pick here, you can take that out at this step. But every step we take, the fleece gets cleaner. So I'm just pulling it apart, making it fluffy, putting it back into the drying rack. And I'll let it dry for a few more hours. The sun is starting to creep across the yard, so pretty soon it will be sun-dried and we'll be ready for the next step. As you can see, I'm picking out the guard hairs and anything that isn't good enough quality to spin. So at every stage you're making the fiber a little bit better. I'm now doing my first pick of the fiber. So this fiber is mostly dry. Anything that's wet is going in this one to go back out to be dried again. This is our good fiber that I'm starting to pick through, get rid of any grass. And then this is seconds, guard fiber, guard hairs, any part that's not good enough to use for spinning but might have a use somewhere else. And that is the compost pile. So little useless bits, but it'll be good in somebody's garden. So I just take it, I have it on my lap with a dryer sheet because it's very staticky. I take a piece, check for any guard hairs, fluff it up, and toss it in the bin. You can tell the difference between the guard hairs and the good fiber because the good fiber has a nice crimp to it. You can kind of see the crimp. And the guard hairs tend to clump together and they're rougher. This feels like a cloud, they feel like hair. Thanks for joining me for part 1, where we learned about scouring, washing, and picking our fleece. Join me next time for carding and blending our alpaca fiber and making roll eggs with hand cards. I'm Rebecca and this is Suricata Crafts. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content like this, including the next steps in this alpaca processing journey. Feel free to leave a comment below. I love your comments. Have a great day and happy crafting.